Hi, I'm Leona Swiftsilver. Raised as a bard in Ilvinus, I've been on quite the adventure these past few months. After being blamed for the death of Lord Richard Kentigern and exiled from my home, I started exploring various cities and towns in Sen Maria, places I'd only read about as a child. I've met so many new friends, and have also endured a few difficult goodbyes. One such goodbye was with my childhood sweetheart, Roman. After learning that he not only tampered with my memory most of my years growing up, but is also a member of the Assembly, I chose to abandon my dreams of marrying him and stay with my new family. Oh, I suppose that's important. After growing up an orphan in the courts, I learned that my father gave me and my sister up in order to protect us from our mother. Did I mention that Kessera is my older sister? She's not particularly thrilled about it, but I don't doubt that she'll come around eventually. In the meantime, I'll have to be content with trying to help her fulfill a prophecy with the rest of Fate's Chosen, and find better ways to propose to my fiancé Areo Mossier. As we continue forward with great challenges awaiting us, I hope to harness the new divine oracle power given to me by the Everlight. I want to make her proud and keep my friends safe in the battles to come. One day, when the world is at peace, I hope to be with my dearest Areo, my entire family, and enjoy a happily ever after of my own.
Sup, I'm Kessera Stormbreaker, and I'm doing this against my will. I said I would do it. Didn't say how I was gonna do it. Fine, let's start over. I'm Kessera Stormbreaker, and apparently I have to save the world. Sounds dramatic, right? A nobody from the middle of nowhere gets cursed, and now she has to defeat an ancient evil. Seems like there would be somebody more qualified than an average mercenary who spent most of her time going against goblins and orcs, yeah? Well, I checked, and there isn't. So now, while everyone else is dealing with a major civil war and all hell literally starting to break loose, I get to go searching for rocks that haven't been seen in centuries. I don't have to do this by myself, and I can't tell if I'm grateful for that or not. They all, most of them anyway, seem to believe that I've got what it takes. And strangely enough, they're all willing to risk life and limb to help make that happen. But trust me, if I had my way, I'd disappear into a shitty little town in the middle of nowhere and no one would hear from me ever again. But I don't have that luxury. So instead, I talk to my horse, listen to a shitlord in the sky, sometimes, and try to figure out if I'm going in the right direction. Man, I really hope everyone's right.
It was supposed to be a simple mission. Find the Crown Prince and convince him to come with me and lead a coup against his mother, the Empress. If only it was that simple. Who am I? When I left on this mission, I was Staff Sergeant Eldon Vale of the Imperial Army. A life of service is all I've known. I was sent away from Grassgrave when I was 16 to join the military, and since jail was my only other option, I went. I rose through the ranks rather quickly, earning a reputation for always getting the job done, no matter what. This led to being handpicked by Captain Valerie Donahart to serve under her command. In my 4 years serving under her, I learned more about leadership and friendship than I ever thought I would. She's become the most important person in my world, which made it all the more difficult to leave on this fateful mission. I did find the Crown Prince, Areo Mossier, and I convinced him to come with me to take his place as Commander-in-Chief. We were getting ready to leave when I met the Oracle, Andromeda Skyseeker. She inadvertently showed me a vision I cannot begin to understand. To make things more complicated, Areo then promoted me to captain and reassigned me to watch after Leona and Kessera and aid them in their mission to piece together the Veldahar. So here I am, in the company of people I barely know, in a world of magic and courtly intrigue I was not prepared for, separated from the one person I cannot live without. Simple, right?
Why, hello there. My name is Alexander Lightbringer, and I enjoy long moonlit walks, vigilante archaeology, and making new friends. I was born the fourth of 6 children to my well-meaning and overbearing parents. I was expected to dedicate my life to Pelor in some fashion, but I could never seem to get the hang of it. My passion for knowledge and not faith was eventually accepted, and I was to be turned into a wizard the family could be proud of. Unfortunately, the magic I am most adept at is necromancy, the one thing my family opposes with all their might. As a result, I retreated from court life and spent many lonely years researching in secret. One evening, while raiding a long-forgotten temple, I stumbled upon a genuine damsel in distress. I was intrigued by her tales of a lost well of prophecy, and by the comely paladin she traveled with. The friends I made and the truths revealed at the well changed my outlook on life and the world. I help Fate's Chosen and continue my illicit research whenever my duties in Wolfcrest allow it. Instead of languishing in obscurity, I now work to free my home from the corruption of the Empire.
In the land of Iolan, there is a village that every 5 years sends strong, young warriors to the cursed jungle of the Grim to protect an ancient artifact known as Lorekeeper. This artifact is held in a sacred, dark place, the center of a harrowing labyrinth aptly named the Hopeless Gardens. My name is Atlas Seto, and I am the current guardian of this artifact. I was on my 3rd year of duty in the Grim when I experienced my greatest failure. I fell in battle to a wizard named Alistair McGrath and his thrall, Kareen. I had almost given up hope when a group of adventurers came looking for that which I had lost. It took many long conversations, a tenuous confrontation, but eventually I made the decision to travel with them to recover the ancient gem. After some harrowing trials, self-realizations, and forged friendships, Lorekeeper was recovered. Although I felt that my mission had changed, the duty still remained, and I chose to continue on. Now, I travel with Fate's Chosen, people I call friends, working to drive back the darkness that would engulf this world and make sure the power they seek is placed in willing and capable hands.
I wasn't the crowned prince of Rayomastia when I first met Fate's Chosen. I was simply Ray, a man looking for his missing sister. While traveling with them, well, I fell in love with Leona. Unable to imagine my life without her, it became my new mission to protect my friends while I embarked on a quest of my own, to save the members of my endangered family, and save the Empire from civil war. Underlying players to this rebellion have been slowly revealed to us, and it seems to be coming to an end. My mother, the Empress, is held captive in the Nine Hells, while the Archdevil Apollyon stands in her place, bent on taking over for his master, Asmodeus. I do what I can to protect them, but this group of unlikely heroes faces a much bigger threat than just a civil war between squabbling territories. An insurmountable force threatens the prime material plane, taunting us all from just beyond our horizon.
At the same time, many factions work to their own ends both for and against the party's personal objectives. The Divine Covenant seeks to protect the Primal Ban, while the Silence claims to root out corruption at its core by any means necessary. The Cult of the Dragon aims to raise Tiamat from the Nine Hells, and the Assembly? Bent on taking over the natural world. Even the gods on high mean to meddle in the lives of a group of adventurers they have named as Fate's Chosen, to some unknowable end. In a world where nothing is black or white, good or evil, Fate's Chosen must find a way to mark their own paths and claim their own destinies. Welcome to Open for Adventure.
Have you heard of those touched by fate? Families forged through triumph and trial. Heroes to both stranger and friend lend an ear, and I'll spin you their tale.
Welcome to the stream. Y'all are not muted. Okay. Welcome to the 80th episode of Fates Chosen. Let me select the right. Oh, y'all are already selected as the D&D Beyond overlay. Good job. Proud of y'all. Last time on Fates Chosen, the party decided to head towards the Beastlands with the help of a grave cleric named Zaitharia Calcrest. A sweet young tiefling who's not scary at all. And they made it. They plane shifted. What am I missing? Mindy, would you help me with this recap? I'm struggling.
So we plane shifted into the Beastlands. Terry did not come with us. He said that he had some other things he needed to take care of and that we needed to focus on getting our friend back. So we set up a mini camp. You know, we were trying to get some rest and try not to die. I was spraying perfume everywhere to try to help Atlas find us, you know.
Hey,
I
Mindy,
thought that was...
are your web captioners working? Or did I just mess it up?
Try now?
Yep.
So, sorry about that. So, you know, I met a snake. We're best friends now. I mean, they tried to bite me, but that's okay. And by try, I mean they did. But it's fine. We're friends now, at least for the next 24 hours. Best friends, as Terry would say. So it was great. And then there were a bunch of wolves that attacked us, you know. And Zythoria had a conversation with us, with Leona about the Raven Queen and about Kessera and, you know, the Veldahar and things that Kessera mostly tries not to talk about. And then Atlas found us. So we are all reunited, and we've decided that we are going north to find Atlas's family. Zythoria got in touch with Sora, who then got in touch with Atlas's sister. So hopefully they will be staying in place so that we can find them a bit quicker. And then, you know, hopefully we'll get home and no one will try to eat us because we're not shifters. Because apparently that's a thing. It's gonna be fine. I think that's pretty much it.
All right. With that being so well said, thank you, Mindy. Anything else before we get started?
Oh, Atlas gave Eldon and Leona friendship bracelets. They weren't really friendship bracelets, but that's what I'm choosing to call them. Necklaces. Friendship.
Pendants?
Pendants.
Friendship pendants.
Pendants.
Okay, I'm done. So,
Best friends.
best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends. Fist friends.
Best friends.
It's a different kind of friend. Okay, we're done. Fate's Chosen, you are reunited. Yeah.
And it feels so good.
We were walking.
We ended we decided that we were going to go north. We all felt moderately recharged and mostly alive and not dead. So
We're weighing the pros and cons of trying to go stealthily
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
think we decided
and
something.
how fast we were actually
Normal.
going.
I think we
Right.
decided something in between, so like a normal
Mhm.
pace, so we're somewhat stealthy-ish, but we're not like silent.
So let me get a stealth check from everybody. Start off
I
with,
have a,
with the
I have a
roll.
question.
What's up?
No, I don't have that question. That's a Mindy question, not a Leona question.
I'm gonna use an advantage to make that a straight roll.
Oh, not even.
Oh, okay, all right. Heck yeah,
Hey.
life. Leona's gone. Not really.
Not bad, Eldon. Not bad.
High five, Eldon.
What'd you get, Kester?
Oh no.
Stealth?
Yeah,
5.
Great. Leona?
Hey.
that's my modifier for.
It's because we're flirting with each other because I
Oh.
got a 5 as well,
Oh, how adorable.
and I took advantage. So
Oh no!
Oh no,
I rolled-
skis.
I rolled double 5s.
Oh, no.
Double
Atlas?
fives?
27.
Eldon?
18.
Not bad, Leona.
26.
Not bad.
Fanny cake.
Figure we start having a conversation and just kind of like get lost in the conversation for a little bit, and maybe I run into a tree. I don't know.
I mean, Alexander's definitely still a little weak, and he's still not quite used to not having all of his right arm. So I'm sure he's like whacking into things without meaning to.
We're just a mess. It's fine. We're a mess together. Oh God.
So adorable.
Is it? But I haven't
So
forgotten those
enchanting.
things that
You-
make those big paw prints.
You find yourself walking
Oh.
in the eternal dark of Karasuthra, the lowest layer of the Beastlands. Everything is a dim light about you, except for you, Leona. It seems almost as if the full moon is like sunlight. You can see very well. Maybe it's because you feel closer to the heavens here than you do in the prime material. Maybe it's something else. You and Atlas find yourselves moving quite silently. Eldon, you too feel as though in this eternal night you are somehow a little sneakier, a little sleuthier.
I'm at home.
Wrong character.
Dark.
Wrong
Oh, yeah.
Character, but yes.
Alexander and Kestra are off in their own world doing whatever it is that an Alexander and a Kestra does. You gather that this is going to be a long walk. Is there anything you'd like to accomplish?
I'm just tracking the stars to make sure we're still going in the same direction, so we're still going north.
I am right behind her.
I'll eventually break away from Kesra and find Zytharia in our kind of traveling order.
You find your tiefling friend kind of just walking along. You would barely be able to see her were it not for her bright, shimmering white hair that is actually today braided down her back.
Okay. Zytharia,
Yes?
I just wanted to talk to you for a moment while we're kind of a little spaced out and whatnot.
Oh, sure, Alexander. What can I do for you?
I didn't really get a chance to after we fought Sam, but I wanted to apologize for the way I spoke before.
Well, thank you for your apology. You and I are friends, though.
I know. And that's why I'm apologizing.
That's fair.
I appreciate everything you've done for me and for my friends, as well as your input. This is This is definitely new. Though, and I kind of just manifest the spectral. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, although I feel like I might need to start a fashion for gloves.
I was about to say, it's a little creepy. Just
Yeah,
a little
I
bit.
mean, I can understand.
You're still very dashing, don't get me wrong, okay? So very
Thank
attractive,
you.
very handsome, but it's a
I'm-
little like,
Not what I was worried about, but I appreciate it. I'm glad that we were able to garner your aid in coming here.
I got a little cooped up in the castle. So, I mean, Sarah's there and she's kind of a riot and it's fun to have company, but
That's good.
I miss the old days of getting to go out and I mean I learned a lot of tricks and I never get to use them anymore.
That's a shame.
That's what happens when adventurers retire.
I mean, I guess. I don't plan on not using wizardry when I retire, that's for sure.
Well, I still use clericy stuff. I still do
I mean, fair.
ceremonies, but I don't get to inflict wounds or
An interesting
dead.
choice of spell to really want to do, but okay.
look. All I'm saying is there's some kind of high whenever you're fighting monsters and
I mean-
defending your life, and it's.
I will agree. That's no. I absolutely agree. Well, thank you again. I definitely have some thoughts that I would like to talk over with you, perhaps when we're in a less
Dangerous.
perilous situation. Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
and I need to ask, because considering we're here for Atlas, do I also need to apologize for sending you to the abyss?
What?
Okay. I wasn't sure, because I'm the reason that Atlas and his family are here, and
Oh, so I have a theory about that. Okay. So, here's my theory. Okay, so I think that shifters, there's a lot of legends surrounding shifters. Okay, I was reading all about it. There's like a lot of different stories that directly contradict each other. One of them, however, says that the shifters were created here in the Beastlands. Like as a race, they were here and then they kind of like spread around and went well. So, I don't know.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's good.
But my family, we are tieflings. Like we're not from the abyss.
Okay.
My family was corrupted by a deal with Orcus,
Right.
which is why I'm an abyssal tiefling and not a cool infernal tiefling.
Right.
But I haven't heard of any tieflings being sent back anywhere. Mostly, well, we didn't lose anybody who, we didn't learn anything about anybody in Wolfcrest. You know, like I'm sure there's somewhere where someone just disappears and everybody's like, I had no idea they were a devil this whole time.
Right. Well, I'm I'm glad that I didn't do that to you or your kin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only one left of my family, so.
Well, I mean, I know other tieflings. I don't. Heat of battle and all that, anyways.
But yes, the abyss would not have been very fun.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to. I'm going to go talk with Kessra again. She's being awfully loud.
Oh, Alexander, did you know that your bag is leaking?
My bag is.
You've got a bag of dirt there's some stuff falling out. You look in one of your component pouches has a leak in it, and it's been trailing a scent or a trail behind you.
Oh my! I'll cast mending on that and fix it.
Oh, I hope that means no one's following us. Oops.
Well. All right. Kesra, you really should stop clanging your armor.
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Let me just stop doing what armor does. Sure. Great suggestion.
Leona, you get a sending.
Oh!
Hello, Leona. It's me, Areo. I wanted to tell you that we stormed the castle and we took it back. Apollyon has fled, though to where I do not know. He is still on the prime material plane, however, and he will still cause us trouble, but for now the entire city of Zendaria is free of devilish influence. Thank you, my love. I remain your humble servant.
I'm gonna respond with my hand on my circlet, because that's how you have to use it.
Do you have a headache?
Oh, no, I have very good news, but hold on 1 second. This is in my head. Sorry. That's so good to hear. I'm so glad you were able to take the city back. I mean, it's a bit concerning not knowing where Apollyon is, but a victory is a victory, and I'm glad to hear it. I can't really take any of the credit. It really goes to Alexander, but I'm glad you were able to capitalize on it. I love you. I miss you. Hope to see you soon. I have good news. I'll turn back. I assume that Atlas and I are kind of heading up the front.
Yeah.
I have news. So you know, there were a number of beings that were sent to a different plane, right? And I told Areo that, you know, it might be a good opportunity to, you know, take advantage since all the devils would be gone. They took back the city. Apollyon is missing, but they took back the city. They took back the castle.
I mean, I would assume Apollyon is missing. He should be back in the Hells.
Areo seems to think he's back on the prime material plane. Now, it could have been that, you know, Priority said that he went back first. So
I mean,
he might have left and then come back.
Yeah, I mean, considering someone's been summoning serious amounts of devils to our plane, I wouldn't be surprised if the first person they bring back would be their commander, but
he's not there, so I don't really know where he is, but I think that's still a victory.
I would absolutely agree.
So, you know, a bit of good, well, a number of good, more good we're hearing came out of it. And soon we're going to fix this and everything's going to be great and we're going to get to go back home.
Yep.
Well, that's very exciting. Alden, isn't that very exciting?
Yes, it is. I'm very excited.
I can tell.
That's his excited face.
It is. This is what I look like when I'm excited.
I'm kind of nervous about Apollyon not being where we think he should probably be, though.
That is probably fair. But maybe by the time we get back, they'll have an idea of where he might be.
I mean, considering he's a devil, I have a feeling. I mean, the fact that we knew where he was at all in the first place was by sheer coincidence. We happened to stumble upon Marshall, who happened to try and contact his wife, who told us that Apollyon sat on her throne.
Technically
without-
not his wife. Just want to point that out.
His baby mama?
Okay.
But, I mean, I agree. We'll definitely try and figure out where he is once we go back.
Right.
But-
One thing at a time. We have to get Alice's family back first.
Yeah, we
And
have
then-
several things to do before we deal with Apollyon.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, ideally, yes.
Yeah.
And if he comes to find us, well, then we won't have to wonder where he is anymore.
I have a feeling that he will.
Well, he's not going to find us here, so don't think.
Just keep in mind that we technically have 4 of the 5 pieces that go on the crown. So
And then the
pieces
crown
left.
itself.
We, collectively, yes. Well, one thing at a time. This is first on the list. I've had to rearrange a lot of lists recently.
all right, well, we still have a long way to go.
I would. I don't know how much concentration it takes, but I assume can I DM reattune to my crystal ball?
It'd take a 30-minute long rest, but yeah, you can do it.
Do I
Or
have
short
to?
rest.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be resting.
Okay. So then I'll hang tight because I don't want to keep moving.
Okay. You continue to walk for several hours, making your way closer to this area, this lava source. You begin to start to see it just a bit away. Anything you'd like to do to prepare?
Not exactly to prepare, but I need to have a small conversation with Leona. Leona, I need to apologize for something. Back when we were in the vault and you went down, I tried to give you a potion, but it did not work. You were already fading far past what that would have done. So I did the only thing I could do. I tried to get someone who I thought would be able to help you. And I got the wrong person, apparently. I thought your sister would be able to help, would be able to bring you back. And I feel like I should have probably gotten Alexander instead. I wanted to believe that your sister could do it, but I feel like I failed you slightly.
I'm going to reach out and place a hand on your arm. And I'll kind of glance back because I imagine Kessera and Alexander are like in the back, being hopefully at this point a little more quiet, but maybe not. You don't have anything to apologize for. I don't think you picked the wrong person. She may not have been able to help. She may not have been able to pull me back, as it were, but when Alexander said that she tried, I believe him. I have only seen that kind of magic. I have never practiced it myself, although I like to think that if ever there was a need, I could. But the delicate balance of life and death is tricky. And while I believe Kessra could call on Paylor and save me if ever there was another unfortunate circumstance, I'm quite certain that she does not believe it. Which I think means something. I don't think you picked the wrong person. I think it was just the wrong time. You did what you thought was best. Kessra tried. We were just fortunate that Alexander had the means to bring me back through very powerful magic that cost him quite dearly too. There was nothing ideal about that circumstance. I do think you made the right call, though. And heaven forbid we ever be in a similar situation in the future. I would encourage you to choose the same course.
Aside from her being your sister, you have remarkable faith in her. If only she had that faith in herself.
I believe one day she will. But until then, we'll just have to have enough faith for the both of us.
We'll do what we can.
I'm glad you're safe.
I'm glad you're alive.
I'm gonna reach up and give you a kiss on the cheek.
Oh. All right, back on mission.
Finding your family and getting back home.
Indeed.
I think I see something ahead. You all look out and you reach a plateau, sort of like a cliffside. You see off in the distance an area where the jungle meets a small mountain, out of which the top pours beaming hot, red hot lava. It's maybe an hour, maybe 30-minute walk from where you are. But it's close.
Do we see any, people? Family members? In the distance?
The foliage is thick here. It would be hard
Okay.
to see any other. I'll tell you what. Why don't two people volunteer to roll perception? Okay, go ahead. You have advantage because it's at night.
I don't need it.
Oh. Eldon? 20? Sorry, you're muted. I had to read you right.
Oh, yep, 20, sorry.
Okay.
I used an advantage for that.
Okay.
Mine's a 33 for the record.
Just a
Y'all, we never travel at night. The stars are beautiful. I'm living my best life.
Leona, the stars seem to shine brighter here, and you see a couple of places in the foliage that are moving. A ripple here, a tree shake there.
I'll point it out to Atlas. Mostly because I assumed that Eldon also sees things. And Kesra and Alexander, they're fine. They're fine.
You see, this is
also trying to be discreet.
Yeah,
so.
This is in several places. The only way that this could be one creature is if it were moving very fast. So you see, this forest that you're about to delve into is populated in some way.
We are definitely going to need to move quieter. Much, much quieter.
At that moment, I trip over a branch.
Shit! God, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy 30 feet away to mimic the exact same sound.
Sure.
God, shit.
Or we just prepare to get into fight. I think that is more likely. We should just go into this expecting a fight.
Yep.
Swear to God, I'm hitting every single fucking rock on this. I don't.
You are not. You don't travel at night very often, do you?
No, I sleep at night like normal fucking people.
Okay, calm down.
Sorry, I'm just like my toes are real sore at this point. I swear I've kicked every rock that. It's almost like something's putting rocks in front of my feet.
Have you tried not?
Almost I haven't been doing that.
How about we take a short rest? I would like to prepare myself for what is inevitably an upcoming battle, and also I have some equipment that I need to reattune to myself.
I'm not opposed. On the subject of equipment, I made sure to procure something for you in the vault. We found out that pretty much nothing was trapped except for the giant evil death demon. So, as a bit of an apology, and I am truly sorry, I got you this. And I will hand him the hilt of the sun sword that I have.
Is this what I think it is?
Yeah.
You know, while I was here by myself, I thought about punching you a lot.
Understandable.
I don't think I'll punch you now.
I appreciate that. And while it doesn't change the fact that it happened, please know that I did not do it intentionally. You are the first shifter I have ever met. And honestly, I kind of thought you just had an interesting case of were curse.
Lycanthropy?
Yes, there we go. I knew the word. But obviously I was wrong. And the part of my wish that I think you got caught up in was meant for entities much more evil. Like I said, it doesn't change what happened, and I am truly sorry. But I didn't know.
That is fair. And while this is an amazing apology for me, I need you to put that big brain of yours to work on how to return all the other people that aren't as lucky back to their homes.
It has been on my mind. I don't have a solid plan yet, besides study hard and fast and try and wish them back. But I'll work on it.
I will do what I can to assist you.
Right, so do we want to pop up a hut so that we don't have to worry about anybody jumping us necessarily? All right. I think that this is worth doing quickly because the last time I did this too slowly, we got jumped by wolves.
I mean, yeah.
So I will cast it regularly instead of as a ritual. Or no, wait, crap! I have to cast it as a ritual because I didn't prepare it. Because I never prepare it. Because I can cast it as a ritual. So it's 10 minutes.
No worries.
Okay.
What are the rest of you, excuse me, doing during this 10 minutes?
I would like to sit and meditate upon my equipment.
I'm going to use the rest of my hit dice.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same, to be honest.
And I'm also going to use a second wind before I take the short rest.
There you go.
You know what? I'm gonna do that too.
Now we're thinking. I will. Yikes, guys. This is not good. I'm gonna cast. No, I'm not, because I'm. I think we're gonna be fine. I don't think we're gonna have any fighting. We're just gonna get his family. We're gonna go. So, nope.
It's going to be like everything else we have ever planned, going to go smoothly,
Of course.
and without any hiccups.
Yep.
Exactly as how we want it to be.
I don't know why I would do anything other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, fun fact, for the first time ever in D&D ever, I have used every single health die on my character sheet. And I have a lot.
Same.
Oh.
Still have 4 I haven't used.
That's so cool. I would like to, in lieu, and I think this happens accidentally, as some spells do. I think Leona would like to take some time kind of seeing everybody else trying to like rest up, refocus and everything. I think I would like to sit down and take some time, 30 minutes of time, if you will. And I would just like to be thinking about where we are going and what we might face and trying to get to Atlas's family. All the while knowing that I saw things moving, and there are, dragons and succubi just like lounging around somewhere. I would like to, it's almost like I'm trying to tap into my oracle powers, but like I'm like also terrified to try to do that at this point in my life right now. And I would like to instead, accidentally ritually cast augury.
Okay.
And what specific course of action are you thinking about while
I
you
am-
cast this spell?
Specifically thinking about getting to, I guess at this point I'm more concerned about what I saw in the forest. So I am thinking about the very short 30 hour from here to his family. Does that count? I've never used this spell ever. So I don't.
Tell you what. Why don't you... Let me just pull it up. Mr. Augury.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No need to
I just
apologize.
I saw a spell and I was like, I've never used this spell before.
So... You're gonna focus on your holy symbol while you do this?
Yes.
Since it has...
Which one?
Sarenrae.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I'm not ready to have that conversation. I've got some stuff I need to work through. I don't feel comfortable calling on the Raven Queen for answers when I already feel like I need to renegotiate the terms of our agreement. So I'm going to Sarenrae, going to what I know. She's never let me down.
Okay. That you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Yes. Which I imagine we will do.
Yeah. You look up into the sky and you see the stars begin to shift. Swirling above your head. You almost get dizzy for a second as if the world is spinning too fast and you are clinging to it. You feel your fingers grip into the soft earth as a wave of nausea rolls. And then you hear a resounding word in your head. Wheel.
I'm gonna sit and try to settle my stomach for a minute.
The stars
I'm not
settle
surprised
back
it's
down.
gonna be. It's gonna be fine. I knew it was gonna be fine. Now I just know it's gonna be fine. I think. I have a good feeling. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Do you tell your companions?
Oh, I don't know if I tell anybody because I don't know how conscious I am, but there is some pep in my step that is even more so for Leona. She is ready. She is optimistic, like to the extreme. Like, we're just gonna go do this thing. And I know that there is a noticeable, like, that means it'll be fine. That supersedes what is typically in place. Which is already pretty positive, but somehow.
You find that your rest comes to a close. Anything else before you move on?
I took a little nap. It was pretty great. I feel like I won't kick any more rocks this time, so
That
hopefully.
would be ideal. Yes.
Yep.
You know,
So I don't know.
I'm
You
gonna-
kicked rocks the whole time and we didn't have any trouble. So I mean,
I'm
maybe it's all right.
I'm gonna like pat Kestra on the shoulder. I believe in you. It's gonna be great. And I'm gonna cast guidance. You're going to be wonderful.
You're extra.
Extra.
I just have a very good feeling. We're going to find Atlas's family, and we're going to go home. And it's going to be
Don't say all of it out loud.
okay.
It won't come true.
Don't.
I'm pretty certain, but
Okay.
okay.
Now it's gonna go terribly. Okay.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Fuck.
A bit pessimistic, you find yourself setting off.
Why does nobody believe me?
You clamber down the side of the cliff face and begin to make your way. Can I get a marching order?
I imagine Atlas and Leona still in front, and then Eldon I know would be right behind.
Yeah, we'll put
Leona.
Alexander behind Eldon, and then I'll bring up Tharia this time.
With Zai.
Sounds good.
Or is Zai gonna be?
Where's that Tharia gonna be?
Yeah, where's she gonna be?
She's gonna walk next to Eldon.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, look,
Okay.
everybody is filled up.
Oh, oh no!
So I have Atlas and Leona, followed by Zai and Eldon, followed by Alexander, followed by Kesra.
I approve of all these pairings.
Same though. Atlas, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is only 14.
Only 14. It's not terrible, but it's not great. You all begin to walk along. Can I get a stealth check actually for everybody? A new stealth check?
Yeah.
Oh, I have an advantage, right? Oh, thank
You
God.
have one advantage.
So what's guidance again?
You get a D4.
+4.
Plus
Plus
a
D4. D4. It was worth the advantage. Because that was a 1.
Atlas?
26.
Eldon? You're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
Every time.
Every time. With my disadvantage that I accepted, I got 14.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
Alexander? Alexander.
Did really well and rolled a 16.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Go us.
I, with the very needed guidance, got a 10.
Leona?
23.
Hey, we beat the average.
As a group, you know, you think.
You're my cat. It's fine.
Thanks, Atlas.
Atlas, you are leading, you and Leon are leading this party, and you kind of find yourself kind of checking out the ground, looking at the area around you. You don't have any clue as to any living beings that might be out there. You know in your heart that there are creatures that maybe are either waiting just on your peripheral or that are unaware of your presence further out. You know you're not alone here. But this becomes acutely aware when you find yourself taking a step past a tree and you find yourself face to face with an arrow, a knocked arrow. You look down the shaft of it and it is your sister Thea.
You're going to hurt somebody with that.
It's good to see your face.
Indeed. Give me a hug.
She lets go of the arrow and sheaths it and gives you a big hug. Are these your friends?
They are. This is Leona and Eldon. And then we have Alexander and Kestra.
As I thought.
And
And I'm
Zandari.
Zandari! Oh, she sounds like us.
Yes, she is from Iola.
Ah, it's good to meet you. Hold on.
Made me feel like I needed to cough.
Yeah.
Well, I have some bad news.
What?
Our parents are not back from their scouting mission.
Did you not get the message to stay put?
I don't tell them what to do.
Oh,
So, I can tell you where they went. They thought they saw something inside of the volcano. Like,
Oh, they did not.
I told them it was a bad idea. You hear a and Thea kind of like waves her hand and you watch from the tree drops your sister Pallas.
Oh. Well, good to see you at least in one piece. Yeah, it's about what I expected.
She gives you a big hug. Kind of you notice she's a little wary of the newcomers.
And don't worry, most of them are fine.
Most of them.
I mean, technically all of them.
Eh,
And that one.
Miffy at best.
Yeah.
We're pretty okay. I'm Leona.
Hi,
That's
Leona.
Leona. That is Eldon. That is Alexander. The okay one is Cassandra. And the pretty one is Saitaria.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
This is my little sister, Paulus.
Oh my goodness.
Paulus.
So your parents went into the volcano?
It would seem so. It was Mom's idea.
She said it would not take very long.
Mm-hmm.
Never does.
How long has it been?
Couple hours.
Is it usually that long? Okay, well, okay.
They said they saw a cavern.
Of course, she just had to go and explore it because.
You know that father cannot say no to her.
I know, it's gotten him in trouble. That's kind of how we got here.
So do you want to go after them?
Well, we kind of have no choice.
Yep.
So it is worth noting that if the stories that I read were correct, there's a decent chance that inside that cavern volcano is a lovely couple comprised of a red dragon and a succubus. So
That does not sound like a lovely couple.
I mean, we don't know them. They might, just worth noting that I don't know much of the story. It was just vaguely referenced in the book that I was reading. But, people can fall in love. Surely they can't be that bad. Right?
That is an interesting philosophical question, brother. Do you think that love redeems people? Do you think that just because someone has a capacity to love someone means that they have the capacity for goodness?
No.
No.
The capacity is irrelevant. It's the usage that matters.
Fair point.
I
So,
surprisingly agree with Cassandra.
happens sometimes.
Really.
I mean, we could get on the topic of what is good and what is evil if you wanted, but
We have
Or-
parents to save.
We could go and rescue our parents and get out of here.
get out of here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right! Yes, that's me! I'm Zyzaria Calcrest. Have you heard about the Raven Queen?
Just go with it.
Vaguely, yes. Well, short story long, long story short, whatever. I'm going to plane shift us all out of here. Kind of like her.
Me too.
All of us? All of us.
It will take some trips, but we can
Yeah.
send you out before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you ever want to go to the continent?
Uh-huh.
Well, you're going to get your wish.
Thanks, brother. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it cold? I'm not
Where
properly
were
dressed.
going-
You see, she's wearing, barely any clothes. She is clearly dressed for sand and hot weather. Just like a band around her torso and a pair of, trousers with no shoes.
Yeah, it's cold. It's very cold.
I mean, there are places on the continent that aren't, and Zytharia knows many of them. We don't have to take you to Wolfcrest.
We have kind of a desert. It's a different kind of desert.
And if we go to Wolfcrest, then we can... I don't know if we can teleport you. Oh, I didn't think this part through.
It's... Anyways.
The point is, I could get you off this godforsaken plane.
Actually, Zytaria, can you take us back to Iola?
I can try, but I can't make any promises.
Fair.
I tell you
Alright.
what, I'll do my best.
It's all I ever ask of you, dear.
Okay. Well,
Alright, let's go rescue my parents, apparently.
into the volcano.
into the volcano. Because, you know, that is a thing that people do. They just walk into volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it's not cold in a volcano.
Duh.
Be alright.
We'll be fine.
I can show you the way they went. I followed their tracks a little bit, but Zora told me to stay put. How is she, by the way?
Zytharia would know best.
Oh! Sorry, didn't realize someone was talking to me. Sarah's doing great. Her accent is not confusing for these three characters at all.
Oh, last I saw her, she was voraciously reading books, trying to study up on something. And she also has a romantic interest on the continents named Kindle.
I want to meet him and terrorize him.
Oh,
I am okay with this.
wait,
I'm
why
okay
are
with the terrorizing part, at least.
Wait, why are we terrorizing Kendall?
Oh, it's just like a little hazing that we do in our family. You should have seen what we did to Sarah whenever she... Well, never mind.
I'm much more interested in this conversation now. Please continue.
You know, just like pretend hunt him down in the woods, scare him a little bit, you know.
Might want to keep an eye out for his sister.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kendall's...
is she cute?
Yes.
She is.
They
That's
both
not
kind of
really-
grew up in the woods, though, so...
Trying to sneak up in the woods is probably not the most effective way to try to mess with them. Not that I'm suggesting you mess with them at all, but
Sounded like you were. I have Leon's
know.
approval.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Too late, sunshine.
no, I didn't mean it.
You won't be able to sneak up on Salix anyway. I gave her my whip.
Oh, darn. That was for me!
Ooh.
You
I have new
bastard.
things that you'll get. She needed it a bit more. Look, we had to kill a green dragon to get her brother a sword, and she died. Ripped in twain.
So she's
And then
dead
put
now?
back together. No, she got put back together.
I
Oh.
thought I had put it back together.
Yeah, that was me! Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
habit of bringing. It's fine. We should probably go.
Oh, yeah, totally. Let's go. Palace. Trot along behind. She's
Come on,
never mind.
Badger.
Huh? I'm coming! Okay. So... I still need to update the marching order. Thea can walk next to Alexander. Actually, Thea will walk behind Zytharia. And Pallas will walk behind her, next to Kesra. These two shifters, would you describe them for us, Atlas? What they look like?
Oh, I can indeed do that.
If you've got references, you can paste them in the Google.
I
the
do
Google
not, unfortunately, have references.
Discord.
All right, so Thea, she's the middle child. She is 20 years old. She is quick and nimble, much like me, but she went the ranger route. She has black and yellow spotted hair that goes back into a long braid. She is currently not wearing shoes, which is normal for her. She has the same brown complexion skin as me, and a remarkably short attention span for somebody who has to, go off into the woods. If you look closely, you can kind of see what looks like maybe whiskers on her face, maybe a little. And her teeth tend to be a little sharp. Pallas is strong and very stubborn. Definitely takes after mom for that. She is shorter. She's about maybe 5'1", a little stockier, and likes to pick fights. Her nickname is Badger. She has stripy hair as well that goes down the back. It is short and like a bob. Very muscly.
Perfect. You are reunited with your sisters and begin to make your way towards the volcano. Up ahead, it looms rather large. Imposing, even. I believe everybody just got an advantage from there.
Ooh.
Yes. You start to feel its heat on your face, and you didn't realize that you were a little cold here. Just a little. Now that you're faced with the humid, hot wave from this broiling lava. You find a few places where the lava has ended, essentially in a pool of this black, heavy stone. And your sister leads you to the entrance of a cavern. Along the way, you encounter a few pieces of wildlife, a couple, one panther who takes one look at you and all of you and decides to fuck off. And some very shifty looking owls in the trees.
I told you we were going to be fine.
They're not blue.
Da. Do you want to throw a dagger at them?
Oh, I forgot to go find my dagger. Are any of the owls blue?
Make a perception check.
Oh. Oh, but it's... Oh, wait. It's perception. Nope. 20.
One of them looks bluish, but you think that might just be a trick of the light. And as soon as you take a step, it shivers, and it was just the light.
They're not blue. I have no dagger.
Do you need a blade?
We've got like 8 of them in a bag somewhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have 8 of them in a bag because you keep the bag. Can I have a dagger? I have
a bag.
I do? Oh, I do.
It's right there.
Your bag came from my your bag came from your fiance. My bag came from vampires.
Oh.
Like different.
Wait, no, mine didn't. Wait, who has?
No, fiance. There's a
No,
lot of
I
piggy
have-
bags. I'm sorry.
No, I have the bag that you had. The bag that was left behind, and then I took it back when you found the one with the. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, look,
gonna-
the dagger.
I will reacquire a dagger. I do have a short sword. I have been told that it is best for me to keep my distance, so I try to do so.
How about Palace and I stay out here and keep guard? So that Camille does not have to run so many NPCs.
Da. It's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I wasn't really gonna.
Paulus, are you armed?
Of course.
All right.
I forgot what I was going to say. Is everybody ready?
Walk into a volcano?
Look, it doesn't look volcano-y in there. It just looks like a cavern.
That's a little more terrifying, to be honest.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's get it over with.
Okay.
Very stealthy.
Yeah.
Epitome of stealth.
Make stealth checks for me. You step into this cavern, and the light from outside, the moonlight and starlight fades.
I'm going to use I'm going to use the advantage that I'm going to use an advantage
Okay.
to make it a straight roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that too. Didn't help.
What'd you get, Eldon?
9.
9. Are you at 3 advantages right now?
I'm at 3 right now, yeah.
Atlas?
24.
Alexander?
I use an advantage, and I, once again, got a 5.
God.
Leona?
30-20.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Oh, nice.
No kicking rocks for me.
Oh, Zathariah did pretty well too.
I just imagine Alexander is like reaching out to like touch a rock to like steady himself as he like takes a step down, and it's with his ethereal arm, and he just
Still not quite used to it.
still not quite used to it. Can interact with certain things, can't interact with other things, hasn't quite figured out the logic behind it yet.
Oh no.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Oh, fine. Sorry.
My God, what
just-
happened to your arm?
Did it
not
fall in the
funny, Elvin.
lava?
Just please don't fall on the lava.
It was kind of funny. It was a little bit funny.
Alright.
It can be funny later, not right now.
This cavern is rocky and a little rough. It is wide enough for a dragon, you see, to enter. A massive red dragon, at least. It looks like it has been carved out and it just continues to wind down. It takes a sharp right, and then a left, and then another left. It has a gentle curve around and downwards. Each step you take, you feel your footsteps echoing off the walls. Some of you much more loudly than others. It's about 10 minutes before you begin to see any light. This place is pitch black, so which means that Alexander, you are essentially blind.
Okay.
Does anybody use any light sources?
That would be nice.
I mean,
Oh, Alexander and
we're in a
Eldon are both
volcano.
blind.
I could.
Do you need
consider-
light?
I probably would have whipped up a torch.
Okay.
Just we're in a volcano. It's not hard to light them. So
I'm in front. It's fine. I've got these. And then I will pull out this sunblade and ignite it.
Ugh.
I will never get tired of doing that.
Alice, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
you see, I should make a wisdom saving
I
throw.
said Atlas.
Atlas. Okay.
Hey, if you're within 10 feet of me, you get +3.
We would.
Technically,
10.
there's two people between you. Or one. Yeah, Eldon's between you.
Yeah.
21.
That's within 10 feet, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
24 if I get the +3.
Okay, good to know.
I was pretty good without the +3. Yeah, fortunately. Is he gonna try to kill us now?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
You see this cavern begin to open up into a much wider cave, in the second of which is a pit of lava. All around the walls, you see various accoutrements. There are tapestries and writing desks and wardrobes, a massive, just a collection of handmade items, things that look like they've been taken from the natural wood outside and repurposed. Nothing that looks like it's been manufactured. And as you look around, you see that it is currently empty. But you hear voices from down the hall. Sounds like shouting, screaming.
These voices sound familiar.
Yes. They sound like your parents.
Catch up when you can, and I'm going to take off.
Okay.
With, unfortunately, the light source.
All right, I'm gonna click my heels together and I'm gonna.
Let's go.
And that's where we'll come back after
Oh,
our short
God.
break. Okay, we'll be right back. Bye.
Oh, baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just
our Patreon. Here, on Open for Adventure, we are making high-quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmara. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our Undying Love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please! The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, Open for Adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by Found Familiar. Did you know that every bag of Found Familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community, that's canon. Each blend and roast of Found Familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar Coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold.
Welcome back. Last we left off, Fate's Chosen had entered the lair, the labyrinth of fiery doom. a detached fragment of Phlegethos, rumored to be the lair of a pair of lovers, a red dragon and a succubus. However, this journey is extra personal as Atlas's parents have been rumored to be held here. Last we left off, Atlas heard shouts, screams even, coming from the other side of the room, another den. And he began to run towards them. The rest of the party following in tow. Atlas. As soon as you arrive in the doorway of this room, you see a very strange sight ahead of you. A massive game of dragon chess sits in the middle. And you see your parents on one side, screaming, which devolves into laughter. And on the other side is the most beautiful couple you've ever seen in your entire life. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. No. 7.
They're very, very beautiful people. One of them looks elven in nature almost, but like some sort of celestial. The other one has sharper features, wings that come out of her back. And beautiful red wings that come out. Pale skin, bright red lips. You've probably seen one of these before. You've seen these in a different circumstance. Normally they are clad in heavy armor. This is an Erin, yes. But you don't know what it is that's standing next to her. The rest of you catch up and you all see this. Sadine, your mother, turns to you. Oh, Atlas. Ha. Welcome. We were just playing a rather enthusiastic game of chess with our new friends.
I can see that. You do realize that you told your children that you would be back sooner.
Well, we figured they would be alright. It was only a few minutes, maybe an hour or so. Maybe 2. You all are very independent, and are they okay?
They're fine.
See? You worry too much, Atlas. Come meet our new friends. Oh, I see you have friends too.
Yes.
You see Zytharia appear behind Alice and what is happening here?
Apparently my parents are playing chess with the residents of the volcano.
Sorry, I had to change the music. The rest of you catch up to see. There's 2 sets of couples. You see Felix and Sadine standing next to each other, and this other couple, neither of which look like red dragons or succubus. So goodbye.
Mother, Father, would you care to introduce us to your new friends?
Oh yes. This is Jnar and Nalura. Leona, as you walk in, the first thing that you probably see is that the woman is several months pregnant.
I have a question, DM.
I have an answer.
Kesra and I, many moons ago, met a red dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Not in dragon form.
Mm-hmm.
How similarly, if at all, are either of these individuals to the red dragon that we met? feature wise? Not saying not to say that it's the same person, but
Sure.
are there?
Aside from the red wings on Nalura, that's maybe the only indication that you might have that if one of them is shifted in a different form and is keeping a semblance of their previous form, that might be it.
Okay.
I have a question, DM.
I have an answer.
Way back when, before the red dragon, back when we first met dear Alexander, we had a tussle with a handful of devils, and I do believe an Aranias showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that was a long time ago, and a lot happened. So what are the chances that I, at some point throughout this conversation, put 2 and 2 together to make oh shit?
Why don't you roll an insight check?
Okay. Oh man, that was almost a natural 20, but it's not. So insight, I'm not that bad at that. Still 12.
Yeah, you'd recognize that one of these creatures is a fiend.
Okay. I'm going to be very stiff. Not that I'm ever not, but going to be very
The elven figure, the man, steps forward. It seems you have stumbled upon our safe haven. Welcome. Be our guest. I am, as Sadine said, Jannar. And this is my wife, Nalura. Welcome. You are welcome to take a reprieve here as long as you need. I understand there has been some strange happenings recently. The Beastlands can be dangerous.
Your hospitality is very much appreciated, and I apologize for coming in with my blade out, and I will sheath the sun sword.
That is a very fine blade you have.
Thank you. It was a gift.
Do you know its history?
It is a sunblade.
Yes, but that particular sunblade.
I do not.
Why don't we have a seat? Shall I serve you some tea?
Please.
I have a particular blend that I think would be perfect for this.
If you don't mind, Kessler, perhaps you and I should go and get the siblings so that they don't think their brother is now missing.
That's all right. Yeah.
Please do. It seems we have some place to rest for a little while.
This cavern is quite expensive. There are many other rooms that we've furnished for various purposes, and you're welcome to have a look around as well, the rest of you. I just want to finish this game, if you don't mind. Your father is about to destroy me.
He's not too tough. I used to beat him as a kid.
Admittedly, I'm a little out of practice myself. Kessler and Alexander walk away?
Yeah.
Yep. And once we are well out of earshot of this cavern, I am going to cast Sending to Leona. Don't make any deals. Try not to drink anything or eat anything. Just be careful.
Hi, Alexander.
lovely, but I will try to be on guard. I do think Atlas wants some tea, though.
So, you were last time we walked into the den of an ancient red dragon who also had a romantic interest present. Went fairly well. We left. I assume he doesn't hate us, so we have good fucking.
That's good. I mean, if that continues to be your experience with red dragons, then they are seriously maligned in most literature.
Well, I'm more worried about.
I mean, the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, no deals.
Did Marshall kill one of those? At your house?
I think he killed, might have? He killed some form of, it was a knight, I think. Slightly different, I believe. But yes, no, I mean, be careful. She seems nice enough and very... I guess, would the rest of us have noticed she's pregnant? Is she, like, really okay, so she seems very pregnant, so that's an interesting,
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
I mean,
It's gonna be goddamn terrible. It's fine. We're just gotta... Let's go get...
Yep, go get the kids.
We're gonna get the siblings.
Easy enough?
And everybody's good, but we don't quite know what's up.
What do you mean?
Parents seem fine. The people that own the cavern seem nice enough, probably.
Nice.
Yes,
People live
they
in
seem...
that and they seem nice?
They're playing flute.
Yes, they seem pleasant at least, but I mean...
Are they human? What are
No.
they?
No.
One is a devil, the other is...
Maybe a dragon?
Think a dragon? We're not sure.
You think it's a dragon?
Maybe.
Yes, possibly.
Maybe I should stay out here.
If you want.
If you want, that's fine. We wanted to tell you, we didn't go down the hole and also disappear for hours on end.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay
really
here.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
You know how to reach me, yes?
If I get a free moment in whatever fracas might ensue, I will make sure that you know to run for your life.
Great. Yeah, Palas and I will stay here.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
All right.
You head back down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you head back down, you find the hosts are serving everybody tea. If you take it, that's your own business, of course. And Zythari is staring enraptured, mostly at Jannar. I'm sorry. What are you? Ah. It's Zythari, am I correct? Yeah, that's me. I'm just a little tiefling, Not ambiguous at all. You are wondering about our situation. He kind of looks around.
It had crossed our mind.
He looks at his wife, who has remained reasonably quiet throughout this whole exchange. Sadine and Felix are taking sips of their drink, their tea. I am what you call an Agathenon.
Gaethanon. Do we know what that is?
You can make a religion check.
Oh, okay. I read lots of books.
What'd you get,
I
Leon?
also read a lot of books.
26.
Atlas?
18.
This is a pretty high DC. So Atlas, you kind of feel like that's a religious thing. Like you understand, like that is some sort of celestial thing, but you aren't quite sure what it is. Leona, you would know that a Negathenon is a celestial creature who they look reasonably elfish, that never appear in their natural forms on their missions to other planes, usually disguised as something else, but they were messengers, holy messengers.
Do I recognize that his wife is a fiend?
Yeah. I see that. Oh, wrong. I see that Leona is putting the pieces together.
I do love a good love story.
Yes.
Particularly ones where you go against all odds.
It certainly has felt like we are fighting every odd, doesn't it? Hmm. We were both on an assignment when we met and could not ignore the natural chemistry. And but yet we could not report back to our superiors after what we were planning. We knew we would be seen right through, and so we made a rather daring escape from our respective homeworlds. Found a place, named it something terrifying, and put out the rumor that ancient beasts lived here.
Oh, that makes sense.
Do I believe him?
Why don't you roll insight?
I do.
I'm gonna use an advantage.
Okay.
That is a natural 20 for 26.
I'll message you.
Okay.
It would seem we have a pair of star-crossed lovers.
Mm-hmm.
This tea is fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. We have plenty of resources here in Karasuthra. Even though it is quite droll outside sometimes. What about you all? How did you find your way here?
Well, that in itself is a difficult and interesting story.
They all are.
Alexander, do you wish to spin this tale?
Interesting. Sure. I'm sorry, Atlas, I didn't catch your parents' names in running up to talk to your sisters.
Oh, sorry. Everyone, this is my mother, Sadine, and my father, Felix.
Right. Well, Satine Phoenix. Sadine Phoenix. I am
Felix.
Felix. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Just not hearing things well at all tonight, apparently.
That's
fine. You and you.
You two peoples.
Just call them mom and dad, it's fine.
Everyone does.
I feel a little uncomfortable with what I'm about to say that, so no. I'm afraid that the reason you and your son and your family and apparently your entire race are back here on the Beastlands is my fault.
How can that be? That is very strong magic.
Well, I am a fairly powerful wizard, but not quite that powerful. But in our adventures, we happened to be inside the vault of Mirwin Sadaka.
No one has been in the vault since.
Well, now there has.
Consider my respect earned.
I'm
Wrong
glad
exit.
to hear that.
It's fine.
In retrieving a particular object that we needed, we unleashed, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Alice, the Queen of Shadows. Who very quickly started to decimate our little group of friends. In a moment of, let's say, panicked brilliance, I grabbed an artifact that I had previously identified as a ring of wishing. And in doing so, I wished all of the fiends and devils and extraplanar entities off of the material plane. Now, it doesn't exactly excuse what has happened, and I am truly sorry, and I plan on trying to find a way to get beyond just your family, your race, back to the prime material plane should they wish to. But I have read and experienced many evil things from beyond this plane and did not know that shifters, well, to be honest, I didn't know what shifters were. This was my first time. Meeting your son was the first shifter I had ever met, and being on Iolan was the first time I had seen so many, and did not realize that they were not born of the prime material plane.
To be honest, it was a surprise for us too. There are many myths and legends surrounding shifters. I guess we've just confirmed the one. You know, if it wasn't a grave inconvenience, this would be very funny. It's still a little funny.
I'm glad you think so.
So what is the plan?
Well, Zytharia here has the ability to plane shift, and we were hoping that she could take you and your daughters back to the prime material and then return for us perhaps a day later. As for getting the rest of the shifters off of this plane, I don't know yet.
You know, I'll be honest with you. We had not really considered going back.
Whoa. Excuse me?
Karasutra is... well, it feels like home. We were working on a way to settle in.
Well, apparently you've already found another couple to play chess with, so. But what about the village? What about the temple? What about the palace?
Your parents sort of exchange a knowing look. We have spoken at length about it, and you must understand that at the time we did not think we would be returning. So we had accepted our place with peace. But if you say there is a way for us to go back, then we will go. What I am trying to say, Alexander, is that I know there are several shifter tribes who are happy with what has transpired.
Well, I'm glad for that, at least.
And besides, not all of them are on Karasuthra, where it is always dark. Some of them are on the other layers.
So, I understand if you two wish to stay. But what about Theon and Pallas? Did they also choose to stay? Or were they just staying because you were staying?
I mean, we were all going to stay together. But we can ask Thea and Pallas what they would prefer. We are not resigned to staying here, son. It is not that we have given up. It is that we had merely accepted.
I mean, I understand that is what we do. But if it feels like home, then if you wish to start over here.
They look at each other. And you see your mother hesitantly kind of reach for your father's hand. Let us think on it. Yes?
I mean, I know the dunes are not the most hospitable place.
Especially in comparison to this. Do you not feel more at ease here, son?
While I do feel a calling, I am doing very important work with my friends.
Of course.
They're fighting to save that which you left. And I've joined them in their fight, so. And there are people back on the material plane that would hunt me down and kill me if I did not return to them. Sorta.
We figured as much. She is a special girl.
Indeed.
And it looks like you have a good group around you.
I do. I may not tell all of them that, but I do.
Your mother kind of reaches over and gently touches your new outfit. And I see a change of clothes.
Yeah. I was no longer the light in the world. I found someone who better represents that. And I look over at Leona. So I will hunt monsters from the shadows.
There are two paths that both bring joy. That both honor the light.
And you've got to admit, this outfit looks way better.
It does suit you. Well, you've given us quite a lot to think about. And, our lovely hosts, I think we are going to take you up on your offer to stay. The night, at least. The Janara Nilura. Will you join us?
Sounds wonderful.
Considering the date we've had, yes.
You look very weary. Why don't I get you all set up?
That would be greatly appreciated.
Very well. He stands up. The Agathon Janara stands up and gestures to his wife, who he helps her rise to her feet, and they walk off. You see that this central location with this kind of like lava pit in the middle, this big round cavern, has several exits or several additional rooms, maybe 10 that come off of it, like a labyrinth of caves. And they head down another one, and you can hear them kind of chit-chatting as they do. She has a soft, kind of gentle voice that you weren't expecting from an Arrhenius. Well, this is crazy.
Right?
I was not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting us to die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always expecting us to die.
I knew we were going to be fine. I told you. Why didn't anyone believe me?
I still expect it.
Because, Leona, you expect that about everything.
I told you I had a feeling. I had a really good feeling.
You had a really good feeling about that snake.
Mm-hmm.
You're hooked on your feelings.
I feel like I should smack you for that, but I don't know why, so I'm not going to.
I feel like I should play a song.
Oh, that does inspire you to sing, Leona? Well, sounds like you need to have a conversation with your sisters.
Yeah, they decided to wait outside.
I will go and convince them to come back in. Zaitaria, would you care to accompany me?
Of course.
Cruel, Tony.
Shit.
You're funny.
That good feeling I had is suddenly gone. I don't know what happened. I think we need to go.
And a dragon! No, I'm just kidding.
The dragon's their pet.
Okay. Did you just want me, as you two walk away, did you just want me to walk with you, or did you want to talk to me?
I just like your presence around. I just wanted you to walk with me.
So what do you think your sisters are going to say? What do you think your parents are going to say? And this is kind of crazy.
I think my parents will probably stay. My sisters, there's a lot they have not done and have not seen. I think they might opt to come back, but it is ultimately their decision.
You watch her start counting on her fingers. That means I could get all of us back in one trip.
It does.
Wow.
How are you doing through all of this?
Oh, I'm good. I'm always good.
Indeed you are.
Well, this is just my kind of stuff that I do, you know?
Well, you are always there for us when we need you, and it is greatly appreciated.
Always there for you so far. Well, I'm just saying one day I won't be around.
One day none of us will be around.
Well, when you put it like that. For example,
Well.
I have a really good friend. She kind of goes her own way, you know? I haven't seen her in a little bit. She's a little halfling, rides around on a broom. Clueless girl. Absolutely clueless. And I wouldn't exactly say she's there when you need her. In fact, I would say she's there when you don't need her. She shows up in the very strangest of places. But I will be here for you. I remain your faithful friend. As long as I don't get locked in prison for stealing all of these things that they steal. I just borrow them.
Exactly. I will help you return them.
Okay.
And I would like to spend as much time with you as possible while I have the ability.
That would be good. Anyway, I'll wait here while you go talk to your sisters. The cave entrance is right there.
Thank you. Thea, Badger.
Huh? Oh. You're not dead. Good job.
Come on now.
I'm
It'll
just
take more than that. But anyway, you should come inside. The couple in here is actually surprisingly nice.
Is it really a red dragon?
It is not a red dragon. It is a much weirder situation, but it's okay.
Great. And Thea and Palace follow the two of you back. So, Fate's Chosen, you have the knight. What would you like to do with it?
I would like to, at some point, ask our host what he meant by the history of that sword.
At this point, your host is getting some rooms ready. These are rooms that are in their, what is essentially a quarantine. They have turned this set of caverns into a place where they can spend time reading and move on to another place and do another activity. Atlas, the lot of you have been placed in what is their library, and so they've kind of pushed it together made together a bunch of makeshift cots for all of you. And so this is where you approach him?
Da.
Atlas, yes. How can I help you?
When I arrived, and I apologized for having my sword drawn, as it was, you asked if I knew the history of it.
Yes, I did. Bit of an error on my part, I think.
Why for?
Well, why don't you have a seat? May I see it? I promise to give it back. Wait, promise to give it back.
Here you are.
As soon as he takes it, you notice it quivers slightly. Nope. 50 of these were crafted for the greatest war of all time. The Dawn War. They were used by Archons. And, well, the last I saw of this particular Sunblade, it was falling from the sky as its wielder fell from Mount Celestia. She was, well, put on trial for her crimes and was convicted of them.
and her celestial nature was essentially stripped from her. Are you familiar with the deity Asmodeus?
Vaguely.
She was his lover. It was... How do I say it? Essentially, her actions allowed him to rise to his current place of power.
So you're saying this particular Sunblade has a lot of history in it.
Yes. However, I don't think you have anything to fear. The Archon who fell was cursed to never wield another Sunblade. In fact, I think it was written in that they would never wield another weapon again.
May I ask, do you know the name of that Archon?
I do, because I was there. Ardenea.
I see.
I've not an idea of what happened to her eventually. I know she was put under penance by Paylor. But I've been out of the circle for quite some time. About 600 years we've been down here.
All right then. That's a lot to take in. Is there anything particular I should be wary of that you may know of?
Not that I know of, no. With the sword, you mean, I'm assuming?
Ah.
I mean, it's a powerful blade.
I remember reading about them as a child, thinking how much fun it would be to have one. And now I have one. And it's the sword of a fallen Archon.
Angels fall for all kinds of reasons. I myself risked falling. Luckily, I am not disobeying a direct order. I am merely hiding. I know that the inevitability of fate will find us, but every day I have with her here is a win. You might find her quiet. She doesn't like to speak in front of strangers. She's often misunderstood. We both are.
I can see how she might feel that way. Thank you for this story and this knowledge.
Of course. Nope. Of course. I am an open book. Should you have any more questions?
It is greatly appreciated.
I will leave you to it.
May I have my blade back?
Oh! I am most sorry. Here.
Quite alright. And I will find a spot close to Zythadia and relax.
You good? Mindy? Okay. I know, you just look panicked over there. Couldn't imagine why. What are you doing, Leona?
Go to someone else so I can like regulate my heart rate.
What are you doing, Eldon?
Thanks.
Sleeping?
Of course.
You mentioned a library.
Yeah, they're in the library. This is a lot of actually fiction work. A lot of love stories, a lot of historical fiction, like what do you call them? Myths and legends and lore. Nothing that's all of these books you would consider, if you saw any of these in a reputable wizard's library, you would scoff, because some of them are like just straight up things from made up fairy tales to half truths. It looks like this library was built to keep somebody entertained.
Okay.
Kestra?
Alexander's off in the library perusing various novels. I will be sitting on the bed not trying to relax even a single muscle, since she's pregos, it's fine, she's love, it's great. So why can't I like relax a little bit? Like I can't. So so after Alexander's been gone for like 10 minutes and I try and relax and just can't, I will reach into my bag and I will pull out a very little book. Very, very tiny. I will pull out a very, very tiny book. We're in just like a little like is it like individual rooms, or is it like one?
You're in kind of a big room, but there's shelves and chairs and things around.
Is there any kind of like paper that I wouldn't feel bad taking?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap the cover and the binding of the book in paper so that it's non-identifiable if anyone should look at me reading a book, which I know is strange like to begin with, but I can actually read. But I'm going to wrap it in some paper so it's a little less identifiable.
Also put it behind another book like I used to do in school.
That would require a second book, and that's just pushing it. So and I'm going to, I don't know how long Alexander's going to be gone. I don't know how long everybody else is going to be gone or asleep. But it's probably going to take me about an hour and a half to get through the like prelude, because I keep rolling my eyes and putting it down. And then I open it back up and then like I gag a little bit and put it down.
What's this book that you're reading, Kestra? What's it called?
It is a book that was purchased by somebody and then sent through someone else many moons ago, called My Pally and Me. Because probably about 24 hours ago and no sleep ago, Kestra tried to do a paladin thing and failed, and it was actually catastrophic. And the first time her not knowing how to do paladin things really had an impact on someone other than herself. So she's trying to nut up and read this book that she can't seem to fucking get rid of. But if anyone actually ever catches her reading it, she might shrivel up and die on the spot. So she's trying. It's gonna take a little bit.
Eating it like.
You didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing until... Because Eldon's snoring in the corner. So until someone else comes into the room, I will be attempting to take it even remotely seriously.
The first chapter is about spellcasting.
Cool. Great. But she's real cringy reading it. She gets like 3 lines in, has to put it down because she kind of wants to vomit. And then she picks it back up. Eyes roll back into her head kind of thing. Has to start over. Yeah.
Leona, you're the only one who is unaccounted for.
I think I might just be. What was her name again? Her name.
Nalura.
Nalura. Okay, I was getting the R and the L. Sounds backwards.
N-A-L-U-R-A. Nalura.
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 I would be asking all about their story.
You would approach her?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. She's in the main room away from everybody else. And she is lounge back reading a book. You notice one plucked from the library. She seems surprised as you approach her.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. It's fine. I just didn't. Can I help you with something? My husband is just over there. If you need.
Oh, I mean, he's lovely. I'm gonna go and sit on the floor beside her. Sorry. I can. I mean.
No, I'm fine. Oh, that's not her accent. I'm fine. It's fine.
Wonderful.
Can I help you?
It's been a long time.
Okay.
I am a lover of stories, particularly love stories. And it seems that you and your husband, did they say they were married? They refer to each other, okay. You and your husband have quite the story. And I was wondering if you would be willing to share more about it.
Are you sure?
You're here together? Does she seem happy?
Make an insight check.
Something over 20.
In this moment, she seems a
25.
little uncomfortable, but she does seem at ease here.
I mean, you both seem happy, and while I don't doubt there were trials, probably beyond anything that I've experienced or maybe even read about, you're here. So
that's a yes. You're sure?
Yes. If you want. You don't have to. I would love to hear it, though.
Why? Why? You could just ask my husband. He's better at telling stories than I am. Especially about love.
Why do you say that?
He's always been a charmer. I've been good at very few things aside from lying and stealing and murdering.
My very first assignment ever on the Prime Material plane was to infiltrate the Zendaria capital and kill the princess. I posed as one of our guards. See, are you sure you want to hear the story?
Yes.
I took out her guard and posed as one of them. But there was another servant who I met. Just a boy, maybe looked 20 in human years. I couldn't shake this feeling I had about him. It distracted me from my assignment. And I figured I should just kill him too. But just when I had the chance, my blade on his throat, something stopped me. And I didn't. To this day, I don't know. Arrhenius have never been known to be cowards before.
What makes you think it was cowardice that prompted that inaction?
Well, probably because that, by the time I knew he was an angel. He was there to protect the princess.
What was the name of the princess?
I don't know. She was still in the cradle. But I think her name was Isabella. Not to be confused with the current. I believe she was the Empress. This was 600 years ago. I think they recycle names.
That happens, yes. So you didn't kill him?
I did not kill the princess, and I did not kill him. And I knew I couldn't go back home. I knew they would strip my wings, I would be turned into a Lemure. I would be... Phlegethos is not a pleasant place, it's where... It's the center of the judicial system of the Night House. All disputes involving devils are discussed there. There's a volcano in the middle. Not like this one, much bigger. A place where hellfire is. It's called the Pit of Flame. It's where devils go to get punished. I'm immune to fire, but this kind of unspeakably hot energy that is drawn from hell itself, that causes even those of us who are normally immune to extreme heat to suffer unimaginable torment. So, I went rogue.
You found love.
Not at first. Jannar followed me. And he was convinced that he loved me. I was not convinced at that time. I didn't know what love was. I didn't know I was capable of it. I'm a fiend after all. You need to understand, Leona, that I'm not the good guy in the story. I fought him. And he was right. I did have feelings, which was why I had spared him. And even into his relentless pursuit, I knew, but it was hard to accept, hard to believe in myself. It took a lot of conditioning to get to where I am now.
And here you are. I told you, I knew that the trials you faced were very likely far beyond anything I could have expected or read about. But you're here. And you learned to love. Perhaps more importantly, learned to accept love. That's a hard lesson.
Especially when it feels like you don't deserve it. I think that's enough for one night.
I will stand up. And before I leave, I will turn back. Thank you. By the way, not only for sharing your story, but for sparing the princess, whatever your reason may have been. 600 years ago, you made a choice, and because of it, indirectly, many years span, I found the man that I love. So thank you. And I will leave her.
You all get the benefits of a long night's rest. You get half your hit dice back. Who would be the first to wake up? Eldon, you wake up in a start. It still feels nighttime, like nighttime here. Doesn't feel like you've gotten enough rest. But your companions still sleep.
My sword didn't wake me up, did it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You hear some footsteps out in the hall.
I'll stand up from the bed and stand at the door, but not open it or anything. Or is there a door? I don't.
It's a door, and it's slightly ajar. You hear the light footsteps of Jannar walk by. He slows down. You hear as he gets to your door and kind of stops, as if he's kind of like listening in to see if anybody's awake. Then he keeps walking.
City keeps going.
Yeah, slowly.
Okay. Not gonna follow him. I'm gonna lay back down.
Okay. Some time goes by. Your friends still sleep? And then... who wakes up next? Leona gently rouses.
I open my mouth to say good morning, but I have learned that usually people are not awake. So I will quiet myself.
Good morning, Leona.
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
No.
Oh. Why not?
This is not a comfortable cot.
I mean, I guess has my pillow. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I've slept on worse. It's fine.
There. I have slept on, well, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Do you at least feel rested?
For the most part. I don't like it here.
Oh.
It just feels weird.
What do you mean weird?
I think I'm just ready to be closer to home.
That's fair. I wonder if Atlas's parents have made a decision.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
I would go to do my prayers because that's usually why I'm awake early. And then I'll start to pray for I will do the same awkward sit here and pray for Sanray and then scoot over a little bit and sit here and pray for the Raven Queen. I know I need to have a conversation with the Raven Queen, but I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm fully emotionally prepared. So I think I got kind of like breezed through both prayers this morning. It's very busy. My friends are all still asleep. I have things to do today. Well, we'll talk more tomorrow. And that's how both prayers go. And I would like to, so that I am filling the time that I normally would be praying, so that it's not like I'm lying. I got a book from the library about Eladrins.
Oh yeah?
And although Kesra didn't want it, I want to read it.
Oh yeah?
Tell me about myself, because I don't know much about my Eladrinness. I just know that my hair changes colors sometimes.
Do you remember the title of this book?
Of course I do.
Okay, that's fine. This book
Sorry.
is a history of the Eladrin race. It describes, from the very beginning, the elven fall from Arvindor, when the rift between Corellon and Lolth first took place. Corellon felt betrayed, and he cast the elves out. Some of them landed on the prematerial plane and eventually took forms of high elves and wood elves and many other sea elves and a variety of races. Oh my gosh, Tony got me. And some of them ended up in the Feywild. And the Feywild shaped them. You read about the great house Amaranth, who establish one kingdom after another in the Feywild, and basically ruled as de facto royalty, though no one really granted them that. The origin story of how they became royalty is surrounded by myth and legend. However, there are currently several cities who refer to the Amaranth as a prince or princess. It also goes into detail about different Eladrin shapes, how they change they can change in a season, and it kind of changes their personality, their identity. Yeah, it's an enlightening read. Oh, and it does talk about half Eladrin, or a descendant of Eladrin.
Right?
You're a quarter Eladrin. No, you're half Eladrin.
Yeah.
It talks about how half Eladrin often inherit either all the traits of one of their races or all the traits of another. That either, for example, a half Eladrin and half elf would look, if they had two offspring, one of them might look exactly like the father and one of them might look exactly like the mother, and the one who looked like their Eladrin parent might change form, might change appearance a little bit, but some half Eladrin might not.
Okay.
Which would explain why you change in appearance when Kessra does not.
Just trying to make Kessra really angry just to make sure that's true.
Good luck.
Good idea. Or really happy. I feel like both of those are difficult for various reasons. Okay. Well, that will fill my time so I don't feel guilty for not praying.
And by not feel guilty, I mean feel guilty for telling both Sarah and Ray and the Raven Queen, I'm just very busy today.
Make a wisdom check.
It's a natural 1. So 5.
You feel coldness after your prayers. The guilt kind of compounds on itself. Not sure from which prayer.
Am I still feeling guilty after I finish reading?
That's up to you.
I'm gonna roll. Odds, I still feel guilty. That's an even.
Okay.
I will take a note from Eldon and I will tuck it in a compartment. I'll pray again tomorrow. It's fine. I'll pray twice as long and have plenty extra to say and talk about. It'll be fine.
Yeah, why deal with it today when you could deal with it later?
Right.
Is there anything else that y'all would like to accomplish in this session?
Yes.
Alexander.
I will wake up at some point in time and I will sit down feeling kind of much better. And I will kind of sit cross-legged and I will try and kind of meditate / pray as well.
Oh, what does this prayer sound like?
I think it just starts off something like, I ask for knowledge and wisdom and the guidance to disseminate it appropriately. I open my third eye and ask for your guidance. And kind of quietly pray to Ayun for a little while.
Why don't you make a wisdom check for me?
It's a 3. Wisdom check.
Yeah.
That would be a 4 total with my
Wow. I'm impressed. It's not that you hear anything negative back, or this doesn't feel like when you used to pretend to pray to Palor all those years ago. But it feels like there's maybe something blocking you. Almost like you're in like a fragment of the hells or something.
Okay. Fair.
So.
And then once that's done, I think I will eventually get up and then I will start to read one of the 3 books that Kesra found for me on just the creation of spells and the nature of the soul. So
yeah, easy enough. Last call.
Can I wake up?
Of course.
Can I go and see if my parents are awake?
Yeah. You find them speaking with Pallas and Thea in the kind of center room.
I'm going to approach, and if my parents are sitting together side by side, I'm going to just nuzzle myself in between them.
They wrap you up.
And ask, so, what's the verdict?
Thea and Pallas are hopped down on either side of you, so it's like a sibling, parent, sibling, parent, sibling. And your mother sitting places a kiss on your head, brushes your hair out of your face. You really should cut this. It's getting very long.
Maybe I'll get it to them when I get back, but it stays.
We are going to stay here for now.
All of you?
No, just us. Thea and Pallas will return with you.
I kind of figured that is what would happen.
I was about to say you are probably not surprised.
Not at all.
Disappointed, I hope not as well.
You've lived a long time in the desert. You deserve to start a new adventure somewhere else.
And we
At this point,
Go ahead.
At this point, we can mostly take care of ourselves.
I was about to say we raised 3 brilliant, independent, self-sufficient, and kind young people. You are all 3 doing so well for yourself. Especially you, Atlas. I'm proud of you for this mission you are taking on.
Well, that's because you didn't hear about the parts where at first I lost Lord Keeper in the Opus Gardens and then had to go and retrieve it. Hey! Yeah, that happened.
Son, there's something I have to tell you. I could not tell you when you left because I did not want to. Well, Surah had a vision. We saw you losing Lord Keeper.
there was nothing I could do to prepare you, I am very sorry. In fact, I thought I would never see you again.
Gee, thanks for the hope.
It was not a lack of my belief in you, son. It was a father's fear. Maybe you will understand one day.
We will see.
All I mean to say is that we knew about this supposed failure. And we sent you anyway. Because we
And
knew
you sent me anyway.
we knew you had a bigger role to play. Bigger than guarding the lore keeper. And it seems you are fulfilling that exactly. You have been chosen by fate, son.
It would seem that I have. Well, we'll see what fate takes me and my friends. And now I have to find a place to send you to where you can have a little adventure and less trouble. I'm looking at you, Badger.
Your mother brushes a little bit more hair out of your face. Clearly annoyed. We love you, Atlas.
I love you too.
And on that note, we will wrap up tonight's session. Well, that took a turn for the unexpected. I had a great time.
I expected everything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I knew everything was going to be wonderful. I don't know why nobody believed me.
Leona.
All right, sweet friends. Let's go ahead and sign off.
Hi, I'm Mindy. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere on the internet at MKAY1713. I stream on my own Twitch channel. One day will teach like a person one day. You can find me here Thursday nights. Not this Thursday because we have another week, but usually you can find me here Thursday nights. Finishing up our mini Invisible Sun campaign Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Central Time. My favorite part was, I will say my favorite part was Kesra in the callback to My Pally and Me, because that is a call back and it made my heart real happy.
Thank you, Mindy. Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere else on the internet at Very Pale Ale. I play Kesra every Monday, for better or for worse. And hopefully this Wednesday it'll actually happen. Fingers crossed it'll happen. My DMing debut with Tony joining me and a couple other fantastic people. The Iron Battalion. 6:30 Central Time. Here. It's going to be a time. I'm going to try and make it a good time. My favorite thing that happened, I love all of the lore drops. There were so many wonderful, fantastic lore drops. Yeah, it was fantastic. There were a lot of really good moments in this session, but lore drops for sure.
Thank you, Kate. I almost called you Kesra. Bam!
And muted. Hi, I'm Dan. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Dan Rand, on my own Twitch channel and on Twitter. And yeah, you can find me here on this show tonight, on Monday nights, and then on Friday nights in our short-term Elder Scrolls campaign, which is amazing and super fun. And my favorite part, I was gonna say lore drops too. The whole story about the Sun Sword was dope.
Morgan.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Morgan. I got to play Alexander tonight. You can find me on Twitter at NecroAlexander. I'm here on Mondays and occasionally in one-shots. And my favorite part of tonight was I think I have to go with the story behind the Sun Sword as well. That was pretty cool.
And Tony.
Hello, I am Tony. I can be found everywhere on the internet at Cap Lagrange, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places. I will be on Iron Battalion this Wednesday with our lovely DM Kate down there. Yeah. Looking for a good time. Completely different character than Atlas, with a new voice that I am looking so forward to using. And my favorite thing from tonight, like everybody's already mentioned the Sun Sword lore drop, so I'm going to go with the Alexander apology in giving the Sun Sword. That was a good scene.
Yeah. Definitely.
Camille?
Oh, hi. I'm Camille. You can find me on the internet at Camille Does D&D. You can also find the channel on the internet at Open the Number 4 Adventure. I make dice trays. You can find that at Wolfwood Studio Shop on Etsy. A little behind on my orders right now, but it's fine. My favorite part of the session was honestly watching everybody react to the lore drops tonight. Actually, no, my favorite was the letdown of tension when y'all got in and they were just playing dragon chess. That was a good time for me. I enjoyed that. So yeah. Mindy, will you take care of the warm fuzzies?
Yeah. So first of all, we have Belchavin. Woo! And then we have Orion.
Yeah.
And then we have Sam. Woo! And then we have Mitch D. And then we have Gamer Lord.
Yes.
I am missing one. Who am I forgetting?
Nope, that's it. We had one drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was luck on my part of guessing who it was. So.
What'd you get, Andrew, about Bay of Gift, Fellowship of the Tables?
There it is. I was like, I don't. Y'all, I was panicking because I had a dream the other night that I did this, and I totally. And it wasn't Andrew. I didn't forget it. I knew, and I didn't forget Andrew. It was somebody else that I forgot, and I woke up panicking because we had already gone offline, and I couldn't go. Andrew, Bay of Gift, Fellowship of the Tables. I was like,
Andrew.
it's usually whoever I announce second, because he's usually second. That's how I knew something was off. But then once you miss it, then you throw off your whole groove. I love you, Andrew. I'm sorry, sweet friend.
Oh, and of course Eris is raiding right
Eris,
now.
hi.
Let's see if we can find someone else to raid. Where's the raid button? Raid channel.
Love you,
Indoor
Andrew.
streaming. Indoor streaming. Yeah, let's do indoor. I think we always do indoor because Connor's on that channel.
Love
Hey,
it.
Eris.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Eris, for the stuff. Yeah, you did.
No, yeah, you did good. Yeah.
Amazing.
I liked it.
I did too.
All right, sweet friends. We will catch y'all next time. Bye, sweet friends.